Maybe there's some fools at play. Yes, maybe there's some fools in the system. A question that I ask myself when I look in the mirror: am I on the beam? Am I tracking right? Where are those moments of sobriety amongst our ruling class, our elected officials, where they look in the mirror and ask themselves, am I doing the right thing? I mean, really, there is two sides of every football, offense and defense. There's two sides to it. And these people are looking at things and they're saying, boy, we're going to keep doubling down on the post World War II Democrat liberal order, even though it's making us bankrupt and leading us into a world war. And these people seem completely unmoved by the outcomes. It seems like they're only moved by ideology. Let's listen to some of these folks.
You're a veteran as well, Congressman Auchincloss. What's your take?
I was in my district yesterday as well. We were doing a town hall in the biggest city in my district. Democrats still do town halls. And this city voted for Donald Trump in 2024, first time in 100 years. The most resonant theme of the day that I heard from these Americans was how livid they are about the way that President Trump behaved in the Oval Office with Volodymyr Zelensky. Zelensky flew to Washington, but he walked into the Kremlin. And the propaganda that they heard from the commander-in-chief made Americans feel less safe and made them feel ashamed. This is an opportunity for congressional Republicans to distance themselves from this abomination and to demonstrate that Americans are going to stand for freedom and democracy. Because with all due respect, people do win wars. The United States won World War II. It made this world safe for freedom and democracy. We are now making it less safe for freedom and democracy by giving Russia all the cards that Donald Trump claims they have.
Well, I would add.
That is Representative Auchincloss. He is from Massachusetts, a Democrat. Interestingly, his father, for a period of time, was married to the Kennedy clan. Actually, it was Jackie Kennedy's mother was married to this dude's father, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So, we're in Massachusetts. There's a little bit of a royalty there. And this Democrat is staying focused on the New World Order, staying focused on the post-World War II Democrat liberal order. He has very clear lines in the sand. Putin bad, Europe good. Putin bad, Zelensky good. When Zelensky came to the White House, this dude is making a claim that he walked into the Kremlin. That's a bold statement, not a very politic statement. No, Representative, Zelensky walked into the Oval Office, the seat of American power. It has nothing to do with the Kremlin. It has nothing to do with the Russians. It has to do with the will of the majority of American citizens. And I will share with you my personal will. I do not want my 6 children sent all over the world to die or be maimed to defend democracies in faraway places. I do not believe that that is a good use of my children. I personally would be on the line if my country's integrity was threatened, but I personally would not want to be sent off to a sand dune to die for some other country's integrity. I'm just not into that. Number one. Number two, to pay for this, the American people have woken up and they've realized that we've exported all our jobs to make other countries strong and we're broke. And when I say we're broke to the point of losing our currency, losing our Social Security, losing our Medicare and our Medicaid, losing our entire formation of governance, which goes back to the New Deal. No, Representative, we the people don't want to pay for your endless war. And you're in Massachusetts, which is a sanctuary state. And as far as I'm concerned, every newcomer, as you like to call them, in the country can go to Massachusetts, right? We'll just contain them all right there. And that's fine with me. But when I'm walking in my neighborhood and I'm walking by a house with, I don't know, 20 Islamic people living in there, smoking cigarettes on the front lawn, 20 people in a house that should have 4 people, and I walk by and they give me mean looks, I don't like that. That's my neighborhood. Now, if they're here legally, if they're legal immigrants to the country, I would like to greet them and bring them into the Republican Party so that they can practice freedom, self determination, their religion as they see fit, so that they are kings and queens of their own lives. But if they're here on some kind of asylum deal, which was a program cooked up by the Democrat to wreck my country, overwhelm the services, bankrupt us, and have a lot of new citizens voting who have one ideology who's sending me a check, if that's what it's about, no, we the people are not for that representative. We're rejecting it. So President Zelensky didn't walk into the Kremlin. He walked into an Oval Office which reflects the will of the people. Let's listen to some more.
The person who's watching,
Yes,
who just heard you say Donald Trump is not standing up for Ukraine. What do you say to the person who says, well, I don't care about Ukraine. I want Donald Trump to stand up for America. What do you say to them?
I don't know where you got that. I mean, I don't have time for it.
Yes,
Because-
but we hear it. We
I
hear
know,
it.
but here's the thing. Where did you grow up? Did you grow up in a place where you thought the Russians were the good guys? What part of America did you grow up in where they taught you the Russians were the good guys and our allies were the bad guys? That's the flip here that we need to continue to remind people. The Russians are the bad guys. They're raping women. They're killing children. They're bombing cities. The Ukrainians are the noble good guys. In some ways, they're more American than we are over the last couple of years. And we must stand with them in the same way we stood with the allies in World War II and since this country was founded. This is not just about Ukraine. This is about the core and the integrity of American values. And that's what he's also betraying. Not just Ukraine, he's betraying America.
That's good. That's a little bit from MSNBC, or as President Trump likes to call them, MSDNC, a full-throated defense of alleged American values, which would seem to be the Truman Doctrine, where we the people will go any place, anytime, anywhere in the world to defend democracy with my money and the lives of my children. And that is not an American value, sir. That is a post World War II Democrat liberal order value, has nothing to do with the founding of this country. And my case, the case that I'm making, my base case is that through the universities, the progressivism, the leftism that's taught to our students, our children, my children, I paid for it. Oh, my kids have to go to college. I send them to college where they get brainwashed with a leftist communist ideology, a European ideology, an Atlanticist ideologist, a globalist ideology, has nothing to do with the founding of this country. Now, there are going to be people that say there's evolution. I'm going to say it was a takeover, a very concerted effort on the part of European powers, mostly the English, to dominate, to take over our academic institutions, to take all the key seats at all the best universities, so that the two twin evils of the European intellectual tradition, that being Darwinism and Marxism, became the backbone of the education that's taught to my children. Yes, they don't teach my children about Christianity or the great history of this country or the Republican values, the Republican political philosophy, which is the formation of this country, a formation that enshrined republicanism in the Constitution as being guaranteed, the guaranteed form of governance for every member state of the Union, are guaranteed republicanism, which is precisely why the leftists want to get rid of the Constitution, because we're a Republican country, not a Democratic country. And we have gotten so far away from the political philosophy, from the rut, how we got here. We don't even know how we got here. We don't even know how we got here. And we get these talking heads on these important stations like MSNBC, and he's saying, this is an American value. No, it is not an American value to get involved in foreign entanglements. In fact, the American value, which was given to us by our first president, George Washington is to avoid foreign entanglements, lest they enmesh us in the wars and political machinations of other countries, which is exactly what's happened. We're so enmeshed that even the thought of getting free of it leads to accusations of traitor. Just the thought of being free and independent, the home of the free and the land of the brave, that'll get you branded in these circles as being traitorous, viperous, worthy of imprisonment, apparently,